all back to the learning process. Today, you are going to learn a new poem from Unit 3. The title of the poem is All the World's a Stage, which is written by William Shakespeare. What is the title of the poem? All the World's a Stage, which is written by Shakespeare. Introduction. Like several other phrases, this phrase was coined by William Shakespeare. He says, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. The meaning of this phrase is that this world is like a stage show, and all human beings are merely actors. Before going to know about this poem, let's know about the author of this poem. Message about Shakespeare's writing. About Shakespeare's writing. William Shakespeare was an English poet, playwright, and actor. He is widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's greatest dramatist. He is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. Born April 1564, Stratford upon Avon, United Kingdom. Years active 1585 to 1613. Died on 23rd April 1616. Stratford upon Avon, United Kingdom. Spouse Anne Hathaway 1582 to 1616. His writings 154 sonnets, 37 plays, 14 lines poems are called sonnets. Students, now you are going to learn the poem. Setting of the poem. The phrase all the world's a stage is the beginning of a monologue from William Shakespeare's As You Like It, spoken by Jacques in Act 2, Scene 7, line 138. He compares the world to a stage and life to a play and catalogues the 7 stages of a man's life. This is one of the Shakespeare's most frequently quoted passages. Students, now you are coming to the theme of the poem. The 7 ages. What is the theme? The 7 stages. This poem is based on a speech given by a character, Jacques, who is a cynic in the well-known play As You Like It. Jacques' speech about the 7 stages of a man's life is a famous one. The world is compared to a drama stage. Men and women are the actors who have to play their roles in the drama. For Jacques, There is nothing noble or praiseworthy in the man's life. He makes fun of the 7 ages of man and calls birth as entry and death as exit. Birth as entry and death as exit. Human life is not a permanent one. Human life is not a permanent one. Let's start with poem lines. The line begins with the sixth age. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. Is youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk and his bag manly voice, turning again toward childish trouble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is second childishness and more oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Students, now you are going to listen the explanation of the poetic lines. In the sixth stage, man becomes very weak. He keeps a pouch with him. He wears warm hoses. His legs have shrunken. His big, manly voice trembles as he talks. His voice is not clear as he had lost his teeth. In the last stage, the condition of the man becomes very miserable. Now he has grown very old and weak. He has no relations. He has lost all. He is without teeth, vision, taste, and everything. This stage is called the second childishness. Students, now let me ask a question. Why is the individual in the sixth stage referred as a lean person? Why is the individual in the sixth stage referred as a lean person? The person has now lost the weight and becomes very thin because of his age impact. Question number 2. What is a pantaloon? A pantaloon is a loose, baggy trouser or pants. Question number 3. In the last stage, whose history is referred to? In the last stage, whose history is referred to? The life history of every man is referred here. Next question. Question number 4. What is the last scene in the life of man? Referred here. What is the last scene in the life of man? Referred here. The last scene in the life of man is second childhood days. The last scene in the life of man is second childhood days. In this age, man had lost his teeth, eyesight, and sense of taste. He is forgetful himself and depends on others to take care of him, just like a child depends on others to take care of him, just like a child. Students, now you are coming to the conclusion part. Part 3, video conclusion. Here, the poet concludes the 6th stage of man, of life. During this stage, the man's legs have shrunk and become too thin to wear the breeches that he had worn in his youth. The 7th and final stage that a man goes through is called second childishness or second childhood days. This is because he no longer has his teeth, his eyesight is failing, and he has lost his sense of taste. He depends on others to take care of him like a child. After this, he exits the stage of life forever. So that human being life is not a permanent one. That means human life is not a permanent one. Students, I hope you might be understood this poem, part 1, part 2 and part 3. Thank you students. Thank you for watching. Students, now you are going to listen the summary of the poem, All the World's a Stage, which is written by William Shakespeare. This poem, All the World's a Stage, is the beginning of a monologue from William Shakespeare's play. As You Like It. It is spoken by Jacques in Act 2, Scene 7. In this poem, Shakespeare compares the world to a stage and life to a play. He has divided life into 7 stages, each having its own varied qualities and features. The poet considers the world a stage and the men and women are the actors on the stage of life. They play 7 roles according to their age. The first stage, as described by the poet, is the infant who is being carried by a nurse. The infant cries and vomits all the time. Later, that infant grows into a schoolboy, not willing to attend school. The third stage is that of a lover who is lost in his thoughts of love. The lover writes poetry about his lady's beauty. In the fourth, as he grows older, he joins the army and becomes a soldier. He is physically fit and is aggressive, short-tempered, ambitious in nature. The fifth stage shows that with maturity and wisdom, the family man becomes a judge. He is fairly healthy and full of wisdom. His look is authoritative and advises people. The sixth stage is about the man who has grown old and is seen in a pantaloon and spectacles. His authority has grown weak and his voice trembles as he talks. The last stage is about the senile man who loses his teeth, his vision, and his hearing. After this, the man's part in the play ends and he exits from the stage of his life forever. Students, now you are going to see the end.